Hey guys, I've been suffering some very weird power outages today. They only happen every 5 to 10 minutes and I'm not exactly sure what's causing them, but it's probably nothing.
Horror games, a world of anxiety, jump scares, and a whole lot of garbage. In today's world, let's be honest, Resident Evil is just about it when it comes to successful horror game series.
But I'm a little bitch, this is too scary for me to finish. I need a shitty-ass horror game instead!
But mediocre horror games look no further than the Mascot horror genre, when you want to play a horror game, but getting scared just isn't for you. It all started with a little old game called Five Nights at Freddy's. A video was uploaded by Markiplier, not only skyrocketing his popularity, but shooting Five Nights at Freddy's into a mainstream game. And what is this game, you may be asking? I mean, for it to get this popular, it must have had amazing gameplay, an amazing story, and so much going on.
I wanted to record a message for you to help you get set up.
Playing a game about sitting in a chair looking at a computer screen while sitting in a chair looking at a computer screen.
I gotta give credit where it's due. This game was terrifying back then. I mean, nowadays, bears eating my face off. Oh, I'm so scared.
And nowadays, the only thing that scares me is social interaction.
I'm gonna be the guy to say it. This game is mediocre. I mean, all you do is sit there and look at cameras. How the hell did we squeeze 6 games out of this? The best thing I have to say about this game is I like the tycoon part in the 6th game, but other than that, there's really nothing here.
Hello? Yeah? Okay, bye. I'm being told I need to talk about Bendy and the Ink Machine now.
Would you look at this? Something I don't give a shit about.
It's just not bad enough for my liking.
I'll get this out of the way now. This game's art style is gorgeous. It reminds me of the early Mickey Mouse animations, but it's in 3D. And if I'm being honest, so does Bendy. I mean, if you give him 2 black circles, yep, that's Mickey Mouse.
Something's gotta be wrong here. I already talked about Epic Mickey.
At the beginning of this game, I got stuck for about 30 minutes because I didn't know what I was supposed to do, and that's probably my fault because I was distracted by all the ink. I know I'm alone in this boat. Bendy is extremely popular, and I mean, I understand why people like this game, but when it comes to Mascot horror, honestly, I find more joy in the games that don't take themselves too seriously, especially the ones that are so bad that they're fun to play, like this. Now, I'm aware a lot of people think that these games are terrible, but hear me out.
2 bad opinions in a row. Let's see the damage, and I'm banned from Twitter.
The number one thing I love about this game is how f***ing stupid they are at times.
Whoa!
Minus 1 million aura.
Need I say more?
I know a lot of people really aren't into this kind of goofiness, but it just makes the game more enjoyable for me. And I know this is a video about Mascot horror, and calling this a horror game is like calling Mario a World War II reenactment. It has all the elements of a horror game, but it feels more like an adventure puzzle game, especially with the newest release. The first Garden of Banban tells a minimal story. All we really get is, for a parent looking for their lost child, time is a delicate matter.
You can tell I don't have kids because I'm playing this game.
I know this is a hot take, but I honestly thought this was a really good intro to the series. This game's only about 10 to 15 minutes long, so it's more of a demo than anything else, but it gets the job done. It's survival horror where you collect things to help you collect more things, and then the game ends.
At least it's better than Call of Duty.
And we can't forget about the absolute best part of this game. The internal plexus of the castle. I mean the expansiveness of the kindergarten. In here, there's a whole city, about 6 floors of whatever the hell, and it leaves tons of questions like, who are these colorful guys? Why is this whole thing here? And why has nobody called the police yet? The story in this game, honestly, isn't half bad either, especially in the newest game.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
At the end of the 7th game, you peel a Banban sticker off the wall to reveal a blue version of him hidden underneath. And this raises tons of questions in my mind. Who is he? Why is he hidden? And in 0, we see all the characters as kids. Banban is acting weird and is obviously hiding something. At the end of the game, he kills the snake monster and convinces you to play one last round of hide and seek and locks you in a hidden closet. What closet, you may be asking? Well, the same closet he opens to find you in at the beginning of the trailer for Garden of Banban 8.
It's the little things I shouldn't care about that excite me.
The point is, Mascot horror can be so much better than people make it out to be, so how does it get better from here?
It doesn't.
Poppy Playtime isn't a bad game in my eyes, just disappointing to say the least. I've never played until recently, and all the great things I heard people say about this game kinda made it underwhelming when I finally got around to playing it. Although it did finally help me realize my childhood dream of grabbing stuff with the sticky hands.
How do people do this?
After we give our best buddy a high five, we start to realize there's just not a whole lot going on here. As a matter of fact, the chase with Huggy Wuggy isn't until the very end of the game, and this being a 30-minute game where not a lot happens just kinda makes it boring. I mean, sure there are puzzles sprinkled about, but up until the very end, there's no danger or anything to keep you on the edge of your seat. I guess you could argue the same for the first Garden of Banban, but honestly, that game is so short, it doesn't really have time to do anything like that. Poppy Playtime, on the other hand, is 3 times as long and has the same amount of action.
Did you guys know there are good Mascot horror games?
Was it your childhood dream to run around an abandoned amusement park? Well, look no further than Indigo Park. This game's setting right off the bat is way better than any of these other games. I mean, a kindergarten and a toy factory are cool settings for kids, but an amusement park is somewhere that anybody can enjoy. And this game has one small thing that most of these games lack that would have made the game so much more enjoyable.
A mascot that's in more than 20 seconds of the game!
Meet Rambly the Raccoon, the mascot of this game, and he's constantly interacting with you, which makes the game less scary, but it keeps you engaged. In Garden of Banban, this isn't really an issue because of how short the game is, but I'd rather have someone to keep me company than have to talk to myself. This game does a really good job of giving all the characters life in such a short amount of time. For example, the lion is full of himself, the sea dragon is depressed, and the bird is a clumsy moron. The only real complaints here were every encounter you have with the park mascots felt very scripted. Lloyd's whole encounter is just a cutscene, and it lasts for all of about 10 seconds, and the bird girl was better, but you're just running down a lot of straight paths.
At least you can pet a cat.
A Chapter 2 is in development for this game, and I gotta say, the ending to this game really got me excited for when the sequel finally comes out. I wonder if it's gonna be as good as Secrets of the Mimic. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, also known as
A f***ing disaster.
This game to me was one of the most hyped games ever. To see a series that started off as a boring office defense game turn into a full survival horror game is huge. It shows people that you can start anywhere you want, and if you have a passion and are good at what you do, you can get pretty far in whatever.
But doing something this ambitious comes with its fair share of issues.
When this game released, it was bugged up the ass. It barely functioned, and it broke my computer at the time. And there was just glitches upon glitches, so much so that the game could be beaten in about 5 minutes on launch. One thing separates this from the rest of the games on this list though, and it's the fact that it's $40.
Oh, that's all?
I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I mean, I'm sure they tried their hardest, this being their first game and all that wasn't made in VR, but I just wish they could have taken more time on this. A sequel to this game is coming, and I'm hoping that things get better this time around because I genuinely did enjoy Security Breach, but I feel I would have had more fun if it wasn't as big of a mess as it was. If only the big purple dude were still there.
Speaking of big purple dudes.
I don't know if this game is really considered mascot horror, but hey, even if it's not, it's better than most of these games. Basically, it's a game where you run around and solve puzzles while this purple dude looks for you, and this is exactly what the other games needed. The scripted encounters in Poppy Playtime and Garden of Banban are just less scary because they just kind of happen, and it doesn't feel like it's your fault because the game just decides, hey, you're getting chased now. But in a game like Ao Oni, if he sees you, you know you fucked up, and it encourages you to do better next time around. The goal of each level is to unlock a safe, which then gives you a clue and puts you into the next zone. To be honest, this game doesn't really have a whole lot going on, but if you have $10 and want a fun puzzle game, then sure, why not?
Mascot horror is really a mixed bag. I mean, on one hand, most of the games are free. On the other hand, they're f***ing terrible. I mean, these games have a lot of charm and passion behind them. I mean, sure, the genre's filled with a lot of junk, but don't forget it started from humble beginnings. Like Chuck E. Cheese fanfics.